similar situation, at least emotionally coming off a difficult loss. It comes from kind of fits in that same situation this week. Do you talk about the opponent's motivation to your team, and how do you address that? You don't deal with that?
No, not really. I think it's more the style of the coach, and he's a guy that obviously demands a lot from his team as well, and the focus will be on ourselves in terms of what we do, and it always is for me. But you're always going to prepare for a team that is at home and is coming off a tough loss.
Right. Can you announce the starting punt returner, or are you going to wait till Saturday for elements? Right.
I like the way you presented that question. I think very tactfully. I will answer you in this way. There'll be times when we don't have a punt returner in punting situations on the field because they leave their quarterback on the field, and so we've got to be prepared for that. So we've had Harrison Smith back there in case we, obviously get into a situation where we believe they're going to punt for sure. But it's rather deceptive in a sense that they only take the quarterback and move him back a couple of yards, so you really can't tell whether they're running an offensive play. We'll get our punt team out there, but we may not get them out when the quarterback is still on the field. So we've trained Goody and Harrison and Robbie Toma. Those are the guys who've been catching punts.
You mentioned Harrison. This Pitt last year was kind of his breakout in the beginning of his ascent last year, just playing a lot better football. What has he given you this year?
Leadership, communication. He plays the ball well in the air. I think he had an incredible amount of. I think we had our highest number that I can remember recording. We had 9 or 10 pass breakups.
It was your highest.
I think it was our highest. So he plays the ball well and communicates extremely well for us. We run the game plan through him essentially. So he's if you use this term, the quarterback on defense. That's him.
Is he and Manti are the two that you have kind of the most trouble taking off the field when it's close? Right?
Oh sure, yeah. Manti's set in the front and Harrison's in the back end.
Coach, you talked about that attitude that the team had last week during practice, being angry, wanting to keep that. Have they kept that at practice this week as you go into the picking?
Well, they've had a good week of practice, and their preparation really hasn't been the problem for us. It's been execution, and if you look at all the mistakes we've made, we've made them in very untimely manners in terms of where on the field and time in the game. So that really doesn't have to do with their attitude and being angry as much as understanding that you're going to lose games if you don't take care of the little things. So this week has been really the similar practice in the sense that the guys have been really, really focused. They just have to continue to play at a high level week in, week out.